arena, and it's been an exciting first half. But look at the halftime entertainment we got going on here in the arena. And we have a second half action coming your way after the break. But fans, remember to vote for the MVP of the NBA All-Star Celebrity Game presented by Ruffles. Text the player's first and last name to 38657. Now that's dumps. 38657. Standard rates apply. Or you can tweet using the hashtag RufflesCelebGame and the player's first and last name. Much more to come from the 2019 All-Star Celebrity Game.
Hey man, I shared the link and it gave me the countdown till 8. When the countdown ended, I thought it would take me like right into my own live feed. Now it says it's waiting on me. So I'm like, what? Okay. Like, what was the point of the link if it's not going to take me straight into the live feed? You know what I mean? So that's what I'm trying to figure out is why it didn't just jump me right into the link that I shared. So trying to see if anyone else jumps on here because like it says it's waiting on me, but it's not giving me a link to get there. So yeah, it happens. It's all good. Like I said, you're the only one in here right now, so I'm trying to figure out how to get people over to the page so it'll actually work because I'm not understanding why it didn't just take me straight in. It doesn't make any sense. Let's see. Try it again. Okay, there we go. Wait, so all right, so I guess we're good now. We're just gotta figure out why there's a lag on my side, but let me see. Oh, never mind. I got it. All right. So Let's see, I think. All right, so yeah, man. So we got get this off. Okay. Turn that off. Turn that off. Okay. So we got Chris in here. We got someone else tuning in. Uh, not sure who they are. Can't see. Type something. Let me know so I can appreciate it and let you know how I do. But I hadn't really been paying attention, man. We've been talking about this the Kane and Francis fight. I didn't realize that it was this Sunday. I thought the 235 was this Sunday. Well, not the 235. I thought the John Jones Anthony Smith fight was next, and then after that was the Kane fight. But apparently not. Apparently the Kane fight is this Sunday, which I had no clue. But yeah, so shit, I was going to do the 235 first, kind of in order. But since the Kane and Ngannou fight is first, I'm gonna just jump straight into that. So yeah, man. So what do you guys think about the Kane and Francis fight? What are your opinions on that? I'm gonna be talking about it, obviously. But I think that's gonna be a tough one, man. I feel like on paper, Kane is obviously the favorite, but on paper it doesn't really mean much when you got a freak like Francis Ngannou who just only has to touch your chin one time, and that's pretty much going to be night night for you. So we'll see what happens, man. If I'm Cain Velasquez, dude, I am not gonna play that game at all. I'm not going to. Yeah, yeah. The Black Hulk essentially is like the Black Panther got on the. It's like if the Black Panther started taking the same steroid stack that Yoel Romero's on, essentially. But you know, all he has to do is land the one shot, and that's it. Uh, on paper, Kane's got the cardio. Uh, Kane's got the wrestling, but Francis has got that one touch, send him home, give me another highlight reel type of power. So if I'm Kane, I'm not gonna entertain that scenario at all. I'm not gonna stand there and trade shots with him and fill it out. Like I'm showing up in my wrestling uniform, my singlet, straight out of college, and diving for an ankle, like, as soon as I get a chance. Because I don't think you really want to risk one of those Hiroshima, Nagasaki, big black atomic bombs that he's swinging from the hip, landing on your chin and sending you home early. That's just not going to be good. But Francis is freakishly strong, if you know anything. So you can't just go in there and put your arms around him. It's been a minute since I've seen Kane fight. I feel like now I'm more up to date with Francis more. Yeah, Kane's he's been on the shelf for, I want to say, 3 years now. His last fight was let's see, when was his last fight? Let's see. I know it's been quite a while because he's had the injuries. and everything that have sidelined him, which is unfortunate because he's missed a lot of the prime of his career. Let's see, he hasn't fought since. Let me see. Yeah, well, 2.5 years. The last fight was against Travis Brown at on July 9th, 2016. So it's been a minute since he fought. So we'll see how he responds. I haven't saw the clip yet, but they're saying he looks real good. And in the workouts that they've put together, he looks good on the mitts. He's moving well. Um, but that's just mitt drills. He's got to get in there and mix it up uh, in live action. So I hope he can pull it off. I mean, I would. I want to see Francis do well. Yeah, like over 2 years. Um, I want to see. I want to see a competitive fight. I really would prefer to not see another um, Francis and Stipe rematch. But if it turns into that, I feel like it's going to be Francis versus Stipe, but a lot more brutal. Night's going to be a lot longer for him. If Stipe got him down, held him down, pounding him out, then Kane for sure can. And Kane's cardio, from what we've seen in the past, is off the charts. A dude that walks around at was he 240 with that kind of cardio just doesn't get tired. If Francis hasn't improved his game and hasn't been working on his wrestling, his takedown defense, and getting back up to his feet, if he's the same fighter that he was against Stipe, and it's going to be a long night for him. I don't know, man. It's just one of those that could go either way. It could drag out, and Kane could just batter him and bust him up, cut him up, and brutalize him, or Francis could give him the Overeem treatment and catch him on the chin with some hard shot, and everybody goes home early. I hope to see some improvement. You had the Stipe fight, and then you had the I want to see a toe to toe for about 2, maybe 3 rounds, but also running around the cage BS. I mean, so clean moves and serious defense. Yeah, I mean, Kane will play that game. He'll go in there and he'll strike with you. He's definitely no slouch on the feet. I mean, if you're a fan, if you've watched anything throughout his career, um, dude's crazy good. He's a good boxer, um, all around great fighter. But I just don't think you want to play that power game. I think you want to go to where you have the most, to where your strengths really lie, because styles make fights. Um, get in there, trade for a bit, get them thinking about something other than the takedown, but you got to press him into the cage. You're going to have to lean on him, get him tired, make Francis carry your weight, because up to this point, he hasn't shown particularly great cardio. He's been known to get tired in the Derek Lewis fight. I mean, nobody learned anything from that because nobody did anything. They just pretty much stood there for 3 rounds. I think Derek Lewis threw was it 15 punches or something like that. I had to go back and look. I might be exaggerating, but it was just a snooze fest, man, from being so excited about anybody being able to go to sleep to just watching two guys do some ballroom dancing. Essentially, we don't want to see that again. Kane will for sure bring the fight to him. I'm sure he's got something to prove. Being out 2 years, so we'll see how that goes. But Francis has got something to prove too, man, because he doesn't just want to be a flash in the pan. Yeah, it's this Sunday. The card is, let me see here. Yeah, card starts at 9 p.m. this Sunday. Um, you got Francis and Kane as the main event. James Vick and Paul Felder as the co-main, which will be fun. And then Courtney Casey and Cynthia Savallo, women's strawweight, just under that one. But I don't know, dude. Like, I'm excited for it, especially now that I found out that it's coming up a lot quicker than I anticipated. Um, if I had to if I had to put money on it, uh, I don't know, man. I think I'd put my money on Kane just because his wrestling, his grappling. I think he'll pressure him and put him up against the fence. He'll wear on him. He'll drag him into deep water and just see if he can drown him. Do the Stipe treatment. Lay on him, wear him out, put him on his back. Hey, 101. Take him down, hold him down, make him use his energy trying to get up. Take the power away from his legs. Take the pop off those punches, and wear him down, wear him down, wear him down, and just accumulation of shots until he has nothing left, and he covers up or whatever the case may be. But don't play. Don't. I certainly wouldn't play that stand in the pocket game with Francis. That is a no-no, sir. Um, but kind of going back, what a bummer though that Kane has missed like 2.5 years, man. Injuries, multiple surgeries. Um, they were talking about Kane, being the best ever. Definitely in the conversation of the GOAT, which you can still put him in there, but I don't know, has he been surpassed with the injuries and being on the sideline? Yeah, the fights usually are on Saturday. Let's see, this one is on a Sunday. It's gonna be on it's gonna be on ESPN Plus. So yeah, that makes more sense now. It'll be on ESPN Plus, so not the normal Saturday pay-per-view. Let me see here. Give me a second. What is this? But yeah, man. So right, this Francis Ngannou came in just taking off heads. Like everybody thought that this was going to be the guy who was going to go straight to the top, become the champ in probably record time. Uh, KO'd Overeem in scary fashion. Uh, beat and fought Stipe and really just got exposed. Uh, Stipe ate a couple shots, nothing crazy, but showed that Francis really didn't have the skill set to be a champion. He didn't have the takedown defense wasn't where it needed to be. He didn't have the ability to get back up like he needed to. He was really just relying on that power shot um, to get him the win, and that's good. That power shot is a big weapon as long as it lands. As long as it lands, it looks really good. But if it doesn't land, you got problems, Papa. You know, if you got a dynamite of a right hand, and that's your only real trick. It might be a good trick, but you better get them with it. Otherwise, it's going to be a super long night for you. But I just think Kane will get him. I do. I think Kane's too smart for that. I think he'll take him down, beat him up. Uh, round one and round two, same show. Uh, One Punch Man. We'll see how he's improved. If he's smart, if he's been in the lab, working on his weaknesses like you hope. I mean, maybe he'll surprise some people. But Kane's such a beast on the ground, man. Um, I just think if you put money down, you go with Kane. I think it's a simple game plan. Put Francis on his back, put him up against the cage, and wear him down. You win the fight. If you're forced to stand with him, uh, percentages are going to go up in his favor tremendously. Um, but yeah, like I don't really know a whole lot more to say about that. I just kind of realized that was this Sunday and didn't really do a lot of background or thinking on it. Um, oh, excuse me. Eating chips over here. But yeah, man. So the one that I'm looking forward to is the John Jones card is stacked. Dude, I didn't realize till now. I finally just got a chance to check out the card. Bro, you got Cody Garbrandt, who's coming off the back-to-back losses to T.J. Dillashaw, which if you saw that rivalry, I mean, if that doesn't light a fire under his feet, God knows what will. The way those guys didn't like each other, and he lost twice, so he's definitely uh, has been in the gym training like a madman to get better and climb back to the top. And I'm sure here's another shot at Dillashaw, try to get that strap back. With Garbrandt, obviously a beast. He's fighting Pedro Munoz. Tisha Torres um, is fighting Wale Zhang at women's strawweight. Not super familiar with her. I need to do some research on her. And then you get to the main cards, which is Robbie Lawler and Ruthless Robbie Lawler and Ben Funky Askren. That's going to be a good one, dude. Like, if there is a shame, if you're not a hardcore fan, a lot of people don't know a lot about Ben Askren. They might think he's just this guy coming in. Dude, Ben Askren is undefeated. He's found this really crazy way of making a career out of fighting to where he's figured out a way to fight for a living without really getting hit, which when you say that, it doesn't make a lot of sense. Like he's undefeated, was a champion in ONE FC for a long time. Dude just doesn't get hit. His wrestling is so good. He finds a way to take everybody down. He'll hold them down. He'll neutralize them and beat them up. He'll TKO them. He'll dominate them to a decision. He just makes guys look amateurish. Some of the top guys in the sport, he'll just hold them down and completely neutralize them, shut them down. Doesn't take any damage. It's really impressive to watch, man. If you're not familiar with Ben Askren or who he is, I would definitely go back and do some research on him. Go back and watch if I'm not mistaken, it was the Andre Koreshkov fight and the Douglas Lima fight. It's beyond impressive the way he can take these high level strikers, these world class fighters, and just shut them down and get them down and wrestle them and keep them there. and he just doesn't take any unnecessary punishment. He's a smart dude. He knows what he's doing, and he's insanely good at what he does. But a lot of people will put a knock on him that he hasn't fought in the UFC yet. So they say he hasn't fought the best of the best of the best. And talk about getting thrown to the wolves, dude. You come over to the UFC and your first fight is against Robbie Lawler. I mean, if you know anything about UFC, about MMA, you say the name Robbie Lawler, and that's pretty much it. Everybody knows who Robbie Lawler is. Intensity, aggression, crazy boxing, uh, power. Dude just is tough as nails. Go back and check out the Robbie Lawler Rory McDonald fight from a few years ago. And if you want to see the definition of a war between two men, dude, that was the craziest fight ever. Both men were busted up. McDonald's nose is just completely shattered. He's cut up. Robbie Lawler, his lip, at the end of the fight, he essentially finished. He came into the fight with a top and a bottom lip, and he left with three lips. Like his whole top lip was not just cut, it was cut completely in half. You could pull it apart in two separate pieces. It was the craziest thing, that one of the craziest fights I've ever seen. He pulled it out out of toughness and will, and just being Robbie Lawler, dude. I don't know who else uh, could have hung in there like that and finished the fight. And it's just another staple of him as a legend of the sport. So Ben Askren he's got a tough night ahead of him, man. He's not just going to go in there and have a walk at the park. He's probably going to end up having to eat some shots. And if you start eating shots from Robbie Lawler, it might not go well for you. It might be a short night. But if Ben Askren goes in there and he puts on a performance like he has up to this point in his career, and he gets a hold of Robbie and he takes him down and he shuts him down and neutralizes him, it's like, whoa, like that would be insanely impressive if he does that to Robbie Lawler, because nobody dominates Robbie Lawler in that fashion. It just doesn't happen. So if he's able to pull that off, like, what else could you say about the guy? You can't say he's overrated. You can't say that he's not one of the best in the world, or maybe even possibly one of the best to ever do it. But it's going to be fun, man. Robbie could pull off the upset, if I'm not mistaken. I want to say he's the underdog in the fight. He's coming off of a loss to, I think he's coming off of a loss recently, if I'm not mistaken. I gotta look that up really fast because I don't want to say something that's not accurate. Bobby Lawler record. Let me see here. Who did he fight last? He fought. But yeah, Chris, go look up Ben Askren. Dude he's crazy at what he does. Let me see. Robbie Lawler fought. Trying to find his record here. Oh, here it is. Yeah, so Robbie Lawler, he had that insane war with Rory McDonald, which is one of the most classic fights ever. And then he won that one by TKO. Then he fought Carlos Condit, won by split decision. Got KO'd by the current welterweight champion Tyron Woodley in the first round. Nasty knockout by Woodley, another highlight for him. Then he beat Cowboy Cerrone by decision in July of 2017, and then he lost again to Rafael dos Anjos by unanimous decision in December 2017. So he's let me see. So he's 1-2 in his last 3 fights. Lost to Tyron Woodley, beat Cerrone by unanimous decision, and lost to Rafael dos Anjos by unanimous decision. So he's going to come out hungry, that's for sure. I think if you're going to bet on an upset for any of the main fights, if you're going to do Ben Askren, Robbie Lawler, Tyron Woodley, Kamaru Usman, John Jones, Anthony Smith, if you're putting your money down for an upset, that might be the best one to go with, to be honest. It's just in a video posted saying reasons why Ben Askren retires Robbie Lawler. Now, he won't retire Robbie Lawler. Ben Askren isn't a guy who's going to go in there and just batter you on the feet. He's not going to go in there and just beat you up standing and make you look like you've lost a step as far as a kickboxer or a Muay Thai fighter. Now, he will take you down and keep you there, and you can't get back up, and he'll wear you out on the ground and make you look like you don't belong in there in that sense. But I don't see him retiring Robbie Lawler at this point. Robbie's got a lot of fight left in him. But like I was saying before, Robbie could upset him, man. If you're going to put any money down on the upset in any one of these fights, Lawler might be your guy. And you want to talk about derailing a hype train. If he comes in there and just starches Ben Askren and lights him up early in the fight and sends him home packing, wow! Like, I don't even. That would be crazy, man. It would be such letting the air out of the tires scenario for the excitement Ben Askren has coming in. So I hope it's competitive. Whatever happens, I hope both guys get to put on a show what they've been working on. But if you're looking for an upset, Robbie Lawler might be the guy you want to put your money on as that possibility as far as the 3 main fights. But I personally will go with Ben Askren in the fight. But again, if you're a betting man, if you want to roll the dice, try to make a little extra cha-ching in your pocket, hey, stick it on Lawler, man, because Lawler can knock anybody out any day of the week, 6 days a week and twice on Sunday. So you know, you're kind of safe all the way around there. But I'm excited about it, man. I'm glad Askren is finally in the UFC, dude. The funky one, hilarious. Showed up at the press conference, and at the press conference, dressed terribly, horribly dressed. He had on a button-down dress shirt, some dress slacks, and sandals. I was like, dude, nah, bro. I mean, you can dress how you want. You're one of the baddest men on the planet, but that's not a good look, man. You know, not a good look at all. Dress shirt, slacks, and thong sandals with the piece in between the toes, not slides, but like the old, like men's beach sandals. I was like, what? Oh, God, it's terrible. But, hey, dude doesn't care about style, bro. He's in there to fight. He said that from at the press conference. He was like, listen, man, I'm not in here for money fights. I'm not in here for I'm not in here for the big money fights. I'm not in here calling specific people out. Or I'm here because I want to fight the best and I want to be known as the best and I want to prove I'm the best. You know, which I loved the fact that he said that he's not coming in trying to be Conor McGregor wannabe. He's not trying to imitate the McGregor style to get publicity, which a lot of people seem to do now because they think that's how you get yourself into a big fight. And it seems to work, as long as you can back it up to a degree, talk it up. But I'm excited for it, man. I'm excited for the Askren Lawler fight. Then we got the co-main event, which I think, yeah, like go look at his outfit. It was atrocious, but yeah, you got the co-main event, which is, sorry about that. I'm watching this and looking over the TV, which is Tyron Woodley and Kamaru Usman. And if that one does not get your blood pumping for a fight, dude, like, I don't know what's the matter with you. You need to check your pulse or go do something. Kamaru Usman is 14-1. As dominant as you can be, looks the part. Dude looks phenomenal in every one of his fights. He's working his way up to a title shot. But Tyron Woodley, man, he's that dude right now. He's that guy who, he's got everybody's number. He trains his tail off. He watches film, dissects everything, knows what guys are going to do. He knows their tendencies. He understands what they like to do in certain situations. When this happens, how they respond this way. And the weird thing is he gets a lot of guys. He gets a lot of guys with the same what was this? Yeah, he KOs people with the same pull counter. He'll back up, to where he's close to the cage, and he'll wait for him to come in. And he'll kind of bait him to throw that heavy shot, and they'll pull out of the way just enough to not eat it, and then he'll throw that right hand and just crack him on the chin and drop him. He did it to Darren Till. He got, if I'm not mistaken, that's how he got Robbie Lawler. Does it to a lot of guys, man. He's so strong. He just dude's a beast, man. I think he ends up KO. I think he beats Kamaru Usman. I think he probably TKOs him. What round? I don't know what round. I mean, it's a title fight, so it's going 5. 5 rounds. I think Woodley will get him maybe third round. Maybe third round Woodley will catch him with something heavy. Maybe he'll turn it into a wrestling match. I don't know. Maybe he'll try to prove a point. Maybe he'll take Kamaru down, try to hold him down, beat him up, wear on his gas tank a little bit because, Tyron Woodley, his cardio is top of the line. He doesn't get tired. He's not worried about going into deep water. He's not worried about going into the later rounds. He's good. So he might turn it to a wrestling match, grab an ankle, see if he can get it down to the ground, make it dirty, and just wear on him. Make Kamaru expend his energy trying to get up, get him into that third, fourth round, see if he starts to weather. But I just think he might catch him with something heavy about the third round. Tyron's smart. He's not going to go in and just start winging punches and take a chance on eating anything heavy or getting caught with anything silly. you don't stay the champion for as long as he has off of sheer talent and, just physical ability. You have to be smart with it too. You have to understand who you're fighting, uh, when you're fighting them, the momentum they have coming in, what they like to do, what they don't like to do. Um, you need to, you, if you've ever read The Art of War by Sun Tzu, it's a great book. Know your opponent better than they know themselves. Study everything. I know when you go here, you like to do this, you like to do that. I'll know you better than you know me. If you're the champion for as long as Woodley's been the champion now, it's because of this up here. Obviously, his gifts as an athlete are incredible. He can do things that normal people just aren't able to do. The guy's a powerhouse. Powerhouse. He's a powerhouse. He can do. Probably could have played in the NFL. Could have did anything he wanted to, athletically. But that only carries you so far. He's a smart dude, man. He's smart. He studies. And I just think he'll catch Usman. I think Usman will make a mistake, and Woodley will capitalize on it like he's been on up to this point, and he'll catch him. Like I said, third round. That's what I think about that, man. I'm gonna go Woodley on that third round. Third round TKO, maybe fourth. I just don't see it going to a decision at all. Really, I don't see it going to a decision. I think Woodley wants to prove a point that Kamaru is not up to his level yet, and I think he will. And that's not any knock on Kamaru Usman at all. Guy's a monster, as you can see that from many of his fights. But I just think right now Tyron Woodley's that guy. He's going to continue to be that guy, for some time to come. So yeah, I'm gonna go Woodley. Like I said, third round, maybe fourth, but it won't go to a decision. I just don't think it will. Yeah. Let's see. We got someone else tuning in here. Type something up for us. Chat with us if you want, so we can see who's in the chat with us. Talk a little bit more one-on-one. Chris is over here chatting it up, typing his heart away. Give us some input. We got another person in the chat. So, yeah, man. But if Usman's able to pull that off, hey, man, that will be all respect. Bow down. To the new king, because I just don't see it happening right now. But that's my very short synopsis on that fight. I'm gonna do an actual video later on where it's not gonna be a live stream. I'm not gonna be sitting here kind of rushing myself through it. I'm gonna do an actual video where I break it down, kind of step by step, and explain more in depth why I think each fight is going to go how it's going to go. As soon as I have time to do that, been working a lot lately and going to be busier, but I'm going to try to do that this weekend. But yeah, so be on the lookout for the actual breakdown video of the fight. Yeah, so then we got the main event, which is Anthony Lionheart Smith, who has been just taking everybody out. Dismantled Shogun, dismantled Rashad Evans. Now, albeit, yeah, those guys, they're not in the prime of their careers anymore. They're in the twilight. They're getting ready to hang up the gloves. I'm sure here pretty quick. But those guys are legends, man. They're still in there. They're still high level. You go in there and you take them out in the fashion that he did. I mean, you can't do anything but respect Anthony Smith on that. Dude, he's just been collecting heads as as the McGregor quoted at one time. He said, I go in there, I collect the head, and I put it on the boss's desk. That's what he's been doing. So he's just been red hot, and he's going to come into the John Jones fight with a ton of momentum, a ton of confidence, because he's just been blazing through the division in the last couple of years. So if you want to fight someone who is at their prime as far as confidence, the way they're performing, right now Anthony Smith is that guy. Do I think that he will beat John Jones? I don't. And again, that's not a knock. Um, I just don't see it happening right now. I think Anthony Smith certainly, there's a very, very, very likely chance that he will become the light heavyweight champion in the future. But I just don't see him defeating John Jones at this point in his career, even with the tear that he's on, the momentum. I think Jones is going to be way too dynamic for him. I think the way he mixes things up, I think the way that he throws I think Chael Sonnen said it best. I saw a recent interview with Chael Sonnen. They were asking about the guys that he's competed against in the past several years, and he said Anderson Silva was the smartest. He said, if I'm not mistaken, he said Fedor was the strongest, and but he said John Jones was the most dynamic. He said he just didn't know what John Jones was going to throw at him. He said I just didn't know what was going to come. I didn't know if he was going to throw the side kick to the knee. I didn't know if he was going to fake a jab and come over the top with elbow. I just didn't know what was going to come. What he was going to throw next. He didn't telegraph it. There was just no way to time it. But yeah, I just think Jones is going to overwhelm him. I think he's going to pick him apart. I think that he's going to do what he does. He's going to show up and he's going to beat John Jones. He's going to use that 84-inch reach. Jones is 6'3", I believe. 6'3" or 6'4", one of the two. But he's got an 84-inch reach. So his arm length would suggest that he's closer to someone who's about 7 feet tall, which is insane. I think he keeps him at range with those side kicks to the knee, the oblique kicks. I think he keeps him out there with his jab. He likes to, when guys try to come in on him to rush him, he likes to stick that arm out, palm up. And it's really hard to get on the inside when a guy with that much of a reach advantage sticks his arm out in your face and you're trying to find a way to get in and then he's kicking at your knee. It's a puzzle that nobody's been able to solve yet. And the guys who do get in close, I mean, his wrestling up to this point again has just been a level above. He was the first guy to take down Daniel Cormier. Nobody takes DC down, but Jones did. And Cormier was attempting to take him down and failed on almost every occasion, which was mind-blowing because Cormier is top of the top when it comes to amateur wrestling. He's an Olympian. It doesn't get any more high level than an Olympian. And the fact that Jones was able to get a hold was to prevent DC from taking him down. He was then in turn able to take DC down was a shocker to anyone who knows anything about those two guys. But yeah, I think Jones frustrates him. I think he shuts him down. I think he batters him. I think he I think John Jones batters him. I think he beats him up, wrestles him, and he doesn't really have John Jones isn't a knockout artist. He doesn't go in and throw one shot and put anybody to sleep. He's never been that guy. He beats guys off an accumulation of shots. He wears them down. He beats the body up. Um, he makes guys have to. He puts guys in a space to where they consciously they stop just reacting, and you can see they start just standing in front of him because they don't know what to do. They just get frozen because they start thinking about their attack instead of just attacking, because everything they try to do, they catch a shot, whether it's an elbow, whether it's the kick that hyperextends the knee, whether it's a side kick, a spinning back kick. Something explosive is coming. And a prime example, when he fought Rampage, everybody knows Rampage comes forward. Rampage is always the aggressor, forever pushing the pace, forever looking for the knockout, kill or be killed. He's got that old school dog mentality. And when he fought John Jones, he was saying before the fight that he felt John Jones was all hype and he was gonna end that hype train. And there was a point about halfway through the fight to where I remember the commentator pointing out the fact he had a soundbite where he said just take a look at this. He said Rampage is frozen. We've never seen Rampage stand on the outside and just be frozen in front of his opponent. He doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know which way he should go. He's now thinking about his attack. He's trying to think about what he should do. And when you do that, you think about, if I do this, well, he might throw that. If I do that, he might throw that. And anytime you start worrying about what your opponent's going to do, as opposed to just fighting your fight, this never turns out well. Ever does it turn out well. You just got to go and fight your fight. But yeah, I think Jones will overwhelm him with the accumulation of shots, legs, body, head, back and forth. He'll out wrestle him if he needs to. And Jones can take a shot. So will he beat him by decision or will he finish him? It's tough to say. I don't know. He finished Gustafsson. He did do that. But, man, it's so hard to say. I think that I think that John Jones will probably TKO Anthony Smith in either the late third to middle of the fourth round. So late third, middle of round number 4, I think John Jones TKOs him, finishes him off, and stays the king of 205. And then I think we see him. Well, I'd like to see him fight DC for a third time, but only at heavyweight, not again at light heavyweight. We've saw that movie twice. It's ended the same way both times. Second time more dramatic, but regardless of the fact, Jones beat him pretty handily. Yeah, so I think Jones gets him late third, early fourth round, early to middle fourth round. So I'm going to go, like I said, to recap. I think Ben Askren is going to defeat Robbie Lawler, unanimous decision. I think he'll be Ben Askren as he's always been. I think he'll find a way to neutralize him, not take punishment. And he's going to put people on notice that he's that guy. So I got Ben Askren by unanimous decision. I've got Tyron Woodley by TKO in round number 3. And I've got John Jones by TKO in either late 3rd or early to middle of round number 4. And that's my predictions for that. And Cain will TKO Francis Ngannou this Sunday. I think Cain will TKO him, and I'm gonna go round 3 on that too. Something in my gut says round 2, but Francis is such a freak, man. He's so strong. You don't have to wear that monster down, before you finish him. So I'm gonna go round 3 for Cain this Sunday. But yeah, if you guys, please share your opinions, your thoughts, anything that you'd like to say. I'd love to comment back. With you guys, chit chat anytime you want to. But be on the lookout for that next video, the actual breakdown. I'll be doing one with a more detailed breakdown, some predictions. But yeah, until next time, guys.